Some farms across Maine say it's been a tough year for harvesting crops. A late frost in May had detrimental effects on wild blueberry farms and apple orchards around southern Maine, especially.
One farmer even says she has never experienced a loss of a crop like this one. And tonight in Maine's Changing Climate, News out of Maine's Sam Olson shows us how the late frost was a devastating blow to some businesses.
Yeah, this is very thin for every berry. There should be another 3 or 4 berries.
That laughter is more so to ease the hardship of this year's harvest. Katie Mahaffey has co-owned Slow Rise Farm in Pittston for the past 10 years. She says they lost about 75 to 80% of their crop in that late frost in May. She says it could not have come at a worse time, right in the middle of the berries' pollination.
It was a gut punch.
And a hard realization they'd only get a couple 100 pounds of blueberries this year, as opposed to the 6,000 pounds they typically get.
It was like going through the stages of grief a little bit. You know, you had to accept that you were going to not have all the berries that you had, hoped and dreamed for.
A blueberry specialist at the University of Maine says those low temperatures hurt wild blueberry harvests in southern Maine more than others in central and northern regions of the state. But blueberries weren't the only fruit left impacted by the frost.
A friend of mine called me up. He was in a panic because all his apples, the blossoms turned brown.
Guy Paulin owns an apple farm that's been in the family for 9 generations. He says at the first sign of frost,
everybody's in a panic.
A panic that, for him, was minimal this year, as only about 8% of his prized variety of Honeycrisp apples were harmed. But he considers himself one of the fortunate ones because some farms in the region had such a severe frost and a very different fate.
A lot of orchards in New Hampshire don't hardly have an apple on the farm, and if they do have an apple, it's severely deformed.
One tree fruit specialist at UMaine says the frost impact depends on the orchard's elevation, as some trees were in an elevation that was below 28 degrees, others in slightly warmer elevations.
So we have orchards that have a full crop and some that have nothing. Within this time frame, I haven't normally seen late freezes take out the crop here in Maine.
But she says she expects to see more late freezes in the future in that key part of the season when fruits are in bloom.
We do the best we can. We work with nature and take a gamble.
And some farmers this year weren't so lucky. Sam Olson, News Center, Maine.